It's Tuesday morning, autumn is definitely here. For those of you who don't know what we're up to here, we are nearing the end-ish of a massive construction project converting 3 huge barns in southern Sweden into a recording studio and other creative spaces. We have one last bit of the building to insulate, the big one. Yeah, it's this door right here, which is basically like a huge hole in the side of the building. And this week I'm going to do 2 things, at least 2 things. I'm going to finish building the frame for the doorway here so we can order the glass and get this insulated hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Another thing I'm going to do this week is out here. I've started already testing the ground. We need to dig a cable all the way over there to the end of the guest house because that's where the power comes into the property. We need to upgrade the wiring basically in this place. Last winter we had a pretty nightmarish situation where the fuses kept blowing for 2 days and 2 nights when it was -15, and I was basically staying up all night waiting for the lights to start flickering and then having to come out and change the fuses just to stop the heat pumps completely shutting down and all the underfloor heating freezing, which I think we got away with. Still not totally sure. I think maybe there's one that we lost, but I'm not totally sure. But we don't want that to happen again this year, so I'm going to upgrade the wiring. That's a lot for this week, but there's probably going to be more. So yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, let's see how we get on. Okay, sorry, jumped right ahead there because I'm going to fill you in on what's happened. We started off very easily over here with a spade and we thought this is going to be a piece of cake, and then we hit this stuff which is like 100-year-old hardcore kind of stuff. I borrowed a pickaxe, like a Victorian pickaxe from one of the neighbours. That was kind of good, but in the end we thought we should just give our old friend a call. Remember this guy? The weather's very nice, but it's bloody windy, and we need to get this machine back by 5 o'clock. So basically I'm digging this. I guess Elsa's doing all the real hard work today. But yeah, we're just going to crack on, get this in the ground, and yeah, maybe we'll get round to the fuse box and then we'll have some lunch. The fuse box is just here, so we're nearly there. Nearly at the fuse box next to the peach tree. Alright, we're finished for the day, but we've discovered that this massive pipe is the coolest belay ever. Tintin! Hello! Daddy! It sounds cool. We should make one of these for the studio. We've done it. Rented a compactor this morning, so we've squashed it all down and it's looking pretty good. So that's it. That's our bit of the new electricity taken care of. Meanwhile, I'm back on this thing. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shave a little bit off the bottoms here so that the whole thing sits a little bit lower, so a bit tighter on the frame. I've measured everything so that all the diagonals are pretty much the same on the door, so the door should be square. These doors are so heavy that it's just me and Elsa. There's Elsa over there. It's just me and Elsa basically, and it's too heavy. We can't, just the 2 of us, lift these doors. So I'm going to have to hope for the best a bit with whether or not the doors will fit. But I think if the door frame is square, then they have to fit, right? I'm just going to tinker a bit with this door frame, put it back in, glue it down, screw it down into the floor in places, hopefully without bursting the underfloor heating. That's going to be fun. And then maybe today I can get this all finished. Let's see. Right. So, Tintin's off to his dance class, but we're going to quickly try this. So I've got a big fat seal of super adhesive, which I am intending is going to be like a kind of moisture seal at the front. I can always seal the front anyway. It's made out of oak. I think it'll be okay. At the edges here I have some blocks which are a bit higher than the middle ones. So my plan is we get this frame in, standing on higher blocks. That will allow a bit of wiggle room in the middle once it's in to get the actual door frame in, which will stand on some slightly lower blocks. And then we can basically just sort of remove them bit by bit, take the middle ones out and then take the edge ones out, and the whole thing should just drop into position. Okay, that went okay. Okay, that went okay, except I've missed there. Never mind, this is all going to be tiled out here anyway. Right, Vincent's going to help me. So the next thing we've got to do, Vincent, is we've got to pull out these blocks in the middle and let the middle bit drop. Then we can pull out the blocks on the side and let those drop.
What are you going to do about that thing?
That big what?
Red thing.
Ah, it's going to stay here and it'll just... We can just use it to cover it over if we want to completely close it up. Right, it's in. I think it's square. I've quadruple measured and checked. So now I'm just doing these top bits, just put those in. I've cut the bit across the top. I'll put that in, kind of just a couple of screws, and then I will figure out how long the 3 uprights are going to go. Okay, all done. I'm here at the table saw cutting up beading, little lengths of profiled beading. Can you see that? Does it focus on that? My face is in the way. Yeah, beading for the windows so the rain will fall away from the windows. And I've nearly finished. That's what I've done so far. I've just got to trim these ones a little bit. And then I will start putting them on the door. It's so sunny today that the exposure's all weird, but yeah, very excited about this. It's going to be very cool, hopefully. Type 1-3, weatherproof. Okay, that's it. That is all the beading done. So I guess now we just got to bite the bullet. Vincent's back from school. We're going to try and hang these doors. I'm very scared they're not going to fit very well. But I think we can always trim them a bit and stuff. Make it work. And I've measured so many times. It's just something looks a bit off to me for some reason. But I think the barn is not square anyway, so wish me luck. Okay, well, we tried for ages. I mean, these doors weigh a bloody ton. So we tried for ages with numerous kind of piles of wood and stuff. Elsa had the genius idea to use the pallet jack to lift the door up and down, which works really well. So we got the door on, and it was hanging too high. Right, Elsa?
Yeah.
And
So we couldn't close it.
we couldn't close it. Then what happened?
Then we had to take it off.
Took it off again. Then what did we do? Then I chopped, it was just hanging on this one. They were all the same originally. It was just hanging on this one, and there was a gap on all the other ones. And so I chopped a bit off the hinge at the top so that it would hopefully drop down a bit lower. But then it was still, like, inside there is a pin, and it was still hanging off of it. So now I've chopped a bit off the top pin as well. So the top pin is slightly shorter. I'm worried that all the others are going to be kind of sitting on the pins. But how do you adjust it? You adjust these. Hang on.
That was stuff. Just try to put the door on there.
It's Friday morning, and that was a bloody mission trying to get these doors in yesterday. But they did go in, but they're not totally lining up properly, and I think it's something to do with this top corner needing to come out a little bit on the frame. Even though I spent hours trying to make sure everything was really plumb and level and square, I think it just needs to come out a little bit. I don't know if the whole thing's a bit twisted or something, but two pieces of evidence for this. When the top is flush there, it's kind of slightly in at the bottom, which would suggest to me that if this top bit came out a bit further, then it would just be all nice and square everywhere. And the second piece of evidence is when I close this other door, at the top they're lined up, but at the bottom it sticks out a bit. And just the whole thing feels a bit, it's not closing nicely. I think we need to pull this top bit out by 1 centimetre, and I think it will solve all the problems, because I think, yeah, it'll twist this door this way a little bit, and let's see. Okay, I've just fitted the threshold. Sorry, I forgot to film it. Drilled out some nice countersunk holes. Man, I love countersinking in metal. It just looks so cool. But then the doors didn't close again, so I've adjusted the hinges. So now it will close, except it's catching on these little plates. So I have chiseled that one out and set it in. So that one should be good. There's one at the top. I'm going to chisel that one in as well. And then fingers crossed, these will close beautifully. Very good, very good. Oh yeah, and look at Elsa's What is it? Butternut squash and spaghetti squash.
Mainly spaghetti squash. That's the frost.
Harvest.
came to kill the plants.
The plants are all dying, so we've harvested them. That's a lot of squash. Okay, there you go. Another week, another massive step towards completion. What can I say? Thank you so much for all the support. So glad you're all into this. Yeah, next week is going to be finishing everything in the studio to get it signed off by the council so that I'm allowed to do sessions officially, which I think I can do. And that may involve putting a massive copper stake into the ground for the earth. Not sure. We have a copper stake. Not sure if we're going to put it in yet. All right. Thanks a lot for watching. Yeah, if you want to really support us, then you can join our channel membership. Click the little join button underneath this video. I will see you again next week. So until then, lots of love, look after each other, and goodbye.